Hello everyone. Today we'll be doing yet another chapter in English grammar. We'll be doing articles a, an and the, although we use it in our regular conversation. But this chapter is not that easy as it seems. So we need to brush up with our foundation. Many people will feel that it is okay not to use the articles properly as it does not create a communication error. The meaning of what you want to say doesn't change. Although I understand that it is true, 95% of the communication happens even if the article is wrong, but gives a very bad impression about your fluency. So whatever age you may be, I urge you to pay attention to these rules that I will be covering today so that you will be able to communicate effectively and fluently. Another thing, for those who are aspiring for various exams, please understand that articles is one topic, be it in 10th standard, be it in 12th standard, or various competitive examination, few questions are definitely asked. So with this, you please understand what the importance of this topic is about. So without further ado, let us get into the topic. Before we move into this topic in detail, I would like to talk to you about one basic component of this topic, because this topic is totally based on the consonants and vowel. Consonant and vowel, just not the way it looks, but the way it sounds also. Now let us look at consonants and vowels in detail. For any English learner, this is what consonant and vowel would mean. I think most of you are aware of this. They are made up of 21 consonants and 5 vowels. That's the English alphabets are made up of. A vowel is a speech sound which is made by allowing breath to flow out of the mouth without closing any part of the mouth or throat. This you can try it yourself. Call out A, E, I, O, U. You will find that the tongue does not interfere with the sound. Whereas in the consonant, it is a speech sound made by partially or completely blocking the flow of air through the mouth. Again, you can try all these words right from all these alphabets from B to Z and observe it for yourself, the obstruction of the sound with your tongue. So we derive that there are 5 vowels and 21 consonants in the English alphabet. But I would still tell you that there are 20 vowel sounds and about 24 consonant sounds in the English language. Yes, this may surprise you. Look at the next chart. Can you see the eye and the speaker, that is the ear? What you see, that is the alphabets from A to Z, are the sight alphabets. That is what I can see. I can see 5 vowels in them and I can see 21 consonants in them. But the moment I talk about hearing, I will prove this. So please understand right now. The moment I talk about hearing, I can hear 20 vowel sounds and 24 consonant sounds. Okay? Also, please understand that there is no word in the English alphabet that is without a vowel. And vowel and consonants make up words, that is into syllables. Syllables basically means the number of times you break a word. Well, I just claimed that there are so many vowels. How many I said? 20. So these are the 20 vowels and the 20 consonants.
E, C, I, swim, E. Bed. A. Cat. R. Car. A. Cup. O. Lock. Or. Ball. Book. Ooh. Two. Shirt. Father. A. 8. I. Oi. Boy. O. Arrow. Ow. House. Air. Chair. Ear. Dear.
Okay, now let's get back to business for what we are here for. A and the are known as articles. I think you all are aware right from the time you learnt articles from in the second or the third standard. These are the three words your teachers have been telling you that these are articles, and the only thing probably you have always used is I will use a before consonant and before vowels and the for something that is definite. That is all that you are aware of. A paragraph will be given, say for example, which has about 100 words, and if you are good at grammar, you should be able to say what each word is, each word of that paragraph, whether it is a noun, whether it is a pronoun, whether it is an adjective, or any part of the speech that matters. So basically we have 8 parts of speech, but there is also this a, and the in the paragraph. Okay, so what about those 3 words? They are not a part of speech. Then what about those? They are adjectives. Actually they are demonstrative adjectives. Why I am calling those as demonstrative adjectives? Because we use this article always before a noun, and what describes a noun is an adjective. You're right. So that is why we'll say that we'll take it as a and the are demonstrative adjectives. Look at the 3 examples that I've given you: a car, an apple, the earth. This is what you have always known from the time you have started learning English. There are 3 basic rules of the use of a and an. The first one is when you mention someone or something for the first time. For example, in a paragraph, when you're mentioning about a rainbow or an optician or someone, you will write a or an depending upon whether it's a vowel or a consonant. I saw a rainbow today. I consulted an optician yesterday. Secondly, use a and an to show something or someone is a part of the group. Now, this was a magnificent rainbow. That means I am trying to tell you that this was the best of many. He is an optician in the USA. That means I am talking about he is one of the opticians of the many. And lastly, use a and an to denote someone's profession. Like my mother is a doctor, his father is an engineer. Now I'll be telling you the use of indefinite article a. Now how a has to be used. Now before I start this, please keep in your mind when I'm talking about visual Whenever I talk about visual, that means what the alphabet looks like. But when I talk about sound, I'm talking about what the alphabet sounds like. Okay, so there in the next 2-3 slides I'll be talking more of visual and the sound. So I want you to understand that part. First is you have to use a before a word beginning with a visual consonant to denote a number. Now for example, if we are talking about one particular thing, a cat or a table, and if it is a consonant, you have to use a, the visual consonant only. A is also used before a word starting with a vowel, but it has a consonant sound to it. Now this is a little surprising. I know this many of you must be hearing it for the first time. Now look at the example. I'm giving you a few examples. A unit, European, a useful article, a university, a unicorn, a 1 rupee coin, etc. Okay. Now look at the alphabet. The first alphabet is U, unit. But I am not talking about the visual consonant, visual vowel. I am talking about the sound. The sound of this unit U sounds like Y. That is Y. Again, same for European, the sound of Y. Again, for useful article, we have the same sound. University, we have the same sound. Now come to the 1 rupee coin. Now when I talk about the 1 rupee coin, although it's a vowel there, O, but look at the sound. It sounds like
W-O-N, 1.
Okay, so before a word starting with a vowel, although it is a vowel, but it has got a consonant sound to it. So when you are making the writing the answers to this, look at the first alphabet, see what it looks like, what it sounds like, then apply your answer. Similarly, the same application what we used for A, the same application will be for an, what we see and what we hear. So an, normally what we do is we add an whenever there's a vowel. Okay, we see E, an elephant, an I, an egg, an aeroplane. So the moment you see A, E, I, O or U, we immediately add an. That is the visual. I'm talking about the visual. But there are some vowels which will sound like a consonant. That is only one alphabet, that is H, but not all H. Please keep in mind, not all H. The H that is silent. Okay, that is called H mute in the English language. The moment you see an H, that is mute. That is, you know what is mute. When there is no sound, we call it as mute. So whenever you write the answer to when they relating to an, look at the word, see whether it is a vowel or a consonant. If it is a vowel, see the vowel. That is, look at it, the visual. Again, if there is a vowel, listen to what the vowel sounds like. If it sounds like a consonant, you have to add an. Now, this part of the topic, I can bet no one must have learned it anywhere. Using an article for abbreviation. Now for those who do not know what is an abbreviation, abbreviation is the short form. For example, AIR, All India Radio, SM, Station Master, MA, Master of Arts, B.Ed, Bachelor of Education. So these are the abbreviation. Now you will wonder, what article should I use for an abbreviation? Normally what you would do is, you would directly use A if it is a consonant. You will use an if it is a vowel. But that is absolutely wrong. I want you to hear the sound of these alphabets which I will be telling you. Hear it very carefully. Whatever alphabet I am telling you, although it is a consonant, but only the alphabet I am talking about. The sound of these alphabets, pay attention to these alphabets very carefully. The first alphabet is F. When I say F, if I say it very slowly, you can hear the sound of A, F. Similarly for H, L, M, N, R, S and X. If you pay attention very closely to these sounds, you will hear a sound of vowel. So that is the reason why we should put an when this is in the abbreviation form. I will give you an example. Look at example number 2. If I say he is a master of art, that means his qualification, he is a master of art. But when I say it in abbreviation, I have to say he is an MA. Is that clear? Similarly, for any abbreviation, in the abbreviation form, you have to use an for these alphabets only, and you have to use a for the full form. Now that you have understood a and an, now let us understand the article the definite article the. Now the is used in the following circumstance. I've got few points. Let us do one by one. The first one, when a singular noun, animal or thing stands for the whole class. When I say class, that means it stands for the whole community of, be it man, be it dog. Now look at this example. The dog is a man's best friend. When I'm talking about the dog is a man's best friend, I'm not just talking about one dog who is a man's best friend. I'm talking about the whole class of dog. That is why we have to use the. Okay, the moment this dog, that is the singular noun, becomes a plural, we will be doing this in the omission of article. The moment this noun becomes plural, the article the is dropped. Okay, we'll come back to that. Second point, the is never used before man and women. So before man and woman, we'll never use the. We'll say man is the most intelligent animal. We'll never say the man. So article should not be used. Again, we will be covering this in the omission of articles. So right now you just understand that we have to use the if it is used with the singular noun and that stands for the whole class. Also, the is used to denote a particular person or thing or one already mentioned. Also, we'll be using the with superlatives. For those who know superlatives, you know that it is a part of the adjective, positive, comparative and superlative degree of comparison. So when we use superlative, we have to use the, like this is the best biryani I have ever had. Okay, then coming to the next point, when we refer to any holy scriptures, all the holy books that we refer, the Gita, the Quran, the Bible, the Granth Sahib, so we have to use the. Also, when we are referring to newspapers or periodicals, you take any magazine, any newspaper, you will have to use the Times of India, the Indian Express, the Mumbai Mirror, the Reader's Digest, the Tinkle, any periodical, you will find that you have to use the when you are referring to the periodicals. We have to use the when you are referring to the names of rivers, canals, oceans, sea, gulf, mountains, hills, bays, etc. We say it as the Himalaya, the Ganges, the Indian Ocean. So these are the places where you need to use the. Also, when referring to the various geographical imaginary lines, all those lines on the globe, when you are referring, you have to use the Tropic of Cancer, the Tropic of Capricorn, the equator, okay, the prime meridian, all these you have to use the when you are referring to these geographical imaginary lines. The next we are going to do is when you are referring to a proper noun only when it is qualified by an adjective. Okay, now let us say in this example you have the Steve Jobs. It's a proper noun. I've already mentioned an adjective that is great. So when I'm referring to him as great, I need to use the great Steve Jobs. Also, we use the article the when we are referring to something that is very unique. For example, the sun, the moon. When we emphasize the noun, for example, whenever there's a match, when we declare the man of the match, we call it as Dravid is the man of the match. So we emphasize the noun. Also use the before comparatives as an adverb. A very good example, the more one's efforts, the greater his success will be. We use the with ordinals. I hope you all are aware of ordinals. Ordinary numbers are 1, 2, 3, that is cardinals, and ordinals are first, second, third, fourth, fifth. And also with musical instruments, we will be using the guitar, the trumpet, the piano. Just because you are learning articles doesn't mean that you are going to use articles anywhere and everywhere you like. Because if you do this, you will sound like this character called Gopi.
Well, who the, you the, are is the, किसके खिलाफ लिखानी है FIR is the. Yes!
I think by now you are very clear about when to use the articles a, an, and the, referring to the sounds, referring to the visuals. But please understand that you cannot be adding articles everywhere. There are some conditions where we have to omit the articles. This is the most important thing, and because of this the communication becomes very fluent if you try to omit these articles. Okay, so let us look at the omission of the articles. One should not use article before man and woman when these nouns are used to represent mankind as a whole. In this example, man is not immortal or man is an intelligent animal, we will be not using the. We should also not use the article the before a proper noun. In this example, we'll see Mumbai is the commercial capital of India. We will not use the article the. Also, in the third example, you will see that we are talking about a bird in its widest sense. So when you are not sure of the bird, that is where you will drop the article. So what kind of bird is this? We do not use articles, any articles, before material noun when we are referring to any material. For example, gold is the king of metal. After that, we do not use article to refer abstract noun. Your silence is gold. We can't use a, an, or the before the abstract noun. Also, before titles preceding the proper nouns. Now here I have mentioned two titles, Mother Teresa, Guru Gobind Singh. We cannot use articles before that. And finally, do not use any articles before languages. We speak Konkani at home, we speak Tamil at home. Do not use any articles before these languages. And definitely do not use any articles when you are referring to any language. For example, we speak Marathi at home or we speak Tamil at home. Do not use articles at all.